For 2 decades, there was silence. For 2 decades, the life of the legendary rock guitarist Peter Green was shrouded in mystery. Peter Green formed the original Fleetwood Mac in 1967. His songs, Black Magic Woman, Man of the World and Albatross, became international hits. He ranked alongside Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix. B.B. King described him as the best guitar player of his generation. He was a working-class Jewish lad from the East End of London, whose music in 1969 outsold the Beatles and Rolling Stones combined. But at the height of his success, he turned away from his fame and fortune. Sensational stories appeared in the press that he wanted to give all his money away, that he was locked up in a mental institution, that he had even threatened his accountant with a shotgun. Rumour spread, and the mystery grew. But Peter Green remained silent.
I can't help about the shape I'm in. I can't sing, I ain't pretty, and my legs are thin. But don't ask me what I think of you. I might not give the answer that you want me to.
Peter Green, was my brother. He'd been taking drugs in America. This was back in the 60s, of course. And he was really under the weather. He was really brain scrambled. He didn't want to play anymore. He was, upset about everything was upsetting him. I mean, he went to bed. He didn't get up for about a week. And then he seemed to level out, but he still didn't want to play anymore. He told us that he packed up with the group, the Fleetwood Mac. He didn't want to go out anymore. They were phoning up. He had friends called, a pop leader called Santana, that actually come from America to see him, to have a chat with him, to see if he could get him back into music. But he stayed about a week, I believe, with his mum and dad and Peter, but Peter didn't want to know. The doctor said he was definitely schizophrenic, and they put him onto drugs to try and level him out. He made himself a recluse in his own property, where he lived in a little house in Richmond. He sort of went from bad to worse.
He was very introvert. Had a lot of problems communicating with people. Spent many, many hours alone. A sort of Howard Hughes type figure, really. He didn't wash, he didn't cut his fingernails. I think he ate when he was hungry. And lived in squalor. He looked like a tramp.
I don't think I was there. I think I just took too much LSD. And when I had tranquilizer, ECT, that became like a little. Tranquilizer attacks your body in some way that you just can't keep your eyes open. You can only keep your eyes open. You can't think. You know your name, but you really just know one nothing. Just like my flesh. Terrible stuff. It's ever so strong.
Now, this is Peter's bedroom. This is the bedroom that he had with us for 3.5 years, as it is. Some of his clothes are still there. There's his dressing gown still laying on the bed as he left it, which is 18 months, nearly 2 years ago. And here, I have these discs. He never ever worried about these, but I did. I used to look after him wherever he went. I always had these, he always left them with me. There we are. There's gold discs for Albatross and Black Magic Woman. A really good picture of Peter. Mind you, he was a lot slimmer in those days when that was taken. We kept him on his tablets for schizophrenia, which the doctor said we must do. Me and my wife put them in a little glass in the mornings, the 2, the 3 and the 1, whatever it was, and she used to make sure he took them. In the end, he just used to come downstairs and take them automatically, even before he even had a cup of tea. And he was quite comfortable, he was quite level. We never had no trouble with him. He used to sleep a lot, that was the only thing. We found if we didn't get him out in the fresh air, he did sleep a lot. There was no reason for him to suddenly get up and leave. He didn't want to do music until these music people came along on the scene, old friends. And he took them at face value and he went home with them, and eventually he never sort of came back.
When I first saw Peter in Southend, I didn't know what to expect because I hadn't seen him for 3 or 4 years. But I was quite shocked because this old man came out and said hello to me. He looked very grey, very bloated, not quite with it. And certainly not the Peter that I used to know. He'd lost the sparkle, you know.
He came to stay in my house with my wife and children. I gradually got through to him that I just hoped he wasn't going to sit on his bum the rest of his life and just exist. He's a musician and he should be out there doing it. We played and, you know, gradually he came out of his shell a bit and stopped taking the tablets and stuff he's prescribed, and immediately his hair started growing. He became not grey, a bit colourful, you know, he started to get on the mend.
Nigel sort of said to me to have a little play with me, you know, see how you play, see how you've seen how I've developed. Yeah, a little play, have a little play together. I said, no, I don't play anymore, you know. I like long fingernails, I've got long fingernails. So he said, oh, come on now. Just with me, you know, help me do something, you know, something for your old friend, like, you know, do something for somebody else. Instead of living in like a you know, sort of semi-fallen idol, you know, you ain't fallen enough to be one of the crowd, but you're kind of lodged halfway down. We got playing again, and I found all kinds of marvellous things out about music, and I'm doing well now. I'm having a great time. Really thankful to him for doing it, you know. And I'm going to hold and take my ride by my side. Yeah, I'm going to hold and take my ride by my side. You can't step the house, baby, 'cause it's on the riverside.
Do you remember what B.B. King once said about you?
Yeah, I don't know. But
You're the only white man.
Amazing straight, yeah.
Yeah, or I heard as well who had a shiver down his back when he heard your guitar playing. That's a bloody compliment, that is, isn't it? Eh?
About the shape I'm in, I can't sing, I ain't pretty, and my legs are thin. But don't ask me what I think of you, I might not give the answer that you want me to. I can't wholly believe that is me. It looks like it's been tampered with in the cutting room. Don't look quite right. It don't look quite like the way I felt at the time. You know? I didn't feel quite so thin as that. You know? And things don't look capable of doing what they used to do. But LSD, when you take LSD, you haven't got anything like any innards. You ain't got nothing like that. You just got your sensitive responses. If you come under attack, you allow it to happen. And then when it stops, you then see what the infiltration is. Regrettable.
I wouldn't take it again if I had the chance.
Now when I talked to God, I knew he'd understand. He said, stick by me and I'll be your guiding hand. But don't ask me what I think of you. I might not give the answer that you want me to.
Smash, pop star gives money away. Not how, doesn't say how much money, but it sounded at the time like all his money away. Or, yeah, it sounded like all his money, but I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to be someone who didn't contribute.
He explains himself in riddles, but there is a meaning there, and it's up to you sometimes to dig it out. If you don't analyse what he says, you'll miss the point.
He looks like a tiny little albatross. Tiny little albatross. Gary Moore's version. So we're trying some stuff out on the road and call it music, zik mu. Hoping to come up with some nice music for anybody who thought there was some promise in my early efforts.
Peter is on the road again with a new band called the Splinter Group. As part of their European tour, they play Ipswich.
Thank you very much. Right. Thank you. See you later.
Come on then.
What's this record?
No, it's live, I think. Sounds like somebody playing live. Come on then.
That's a record, isn't it? On TV.
Might be. He's never liked fame. He always feels it's quite a big responsibility for him, and he doesn't really believe that he's as great as everybody else thinks he is. He's never really quite accepted that all these hundreds of thousands of people around the world look up to him for his music, his guitar playing. He finds that very difficult to accept.
Can I just give you a hug? Oh, what? Oh, I wish I had a photo.
No, that's only random.
I love you. I love you. Jamie!
Cool.
Okay, John, through that door and 2 flights up in your dressing room backstage.
Thanks.
He loves being on the road. He really enjoys that lifestyle. He doesn't seem to suffer stress quite as much as the rest of us do.
Right, guys, come on.
When he returned to the stage 18 months ago, various people voiced concerns that he might not be able to stand the pace. But in fact, from what I've been able to see, it's quite the reverse, that music is his therapy. There's a great deal of freshness and now back in his life where he spent years and years just ruminating about unhappy times in the past.
Oh, baby, you know I'm baby through. Wasting my time by going to school. The way you love me, loving you so, I can't do my homework.
He's no dummy, Peter, and he knows what he wants, and he may be a little bit awkward to deal with from time to time. That's just Peter's character, I guess. He seems to be pretty aware of what's going on. I think he would be the first to say if he didn't want to continue playing or if he wasn't enjoying himself. Quite where he goes from here is really down to him to see how much further he can progress and to see how much more he wants to play. It's down to Peter, and I think everybody is doing their best to make his life a lot better. But I certainly wouldn't want to push him any further than he's going at the moment.
Peter himself, not long ago, said, "I know I'll never be the full shilling." Who's to say that, you know, those problems won't come back again?
I'm pleased, I really am pleased for Peter that he is playing the guitar again. Hopefully it won't be too much pressure. That's all I'm worried about, that he doesn't have a relapse, it doesn't come back on him.
Well, I used to sort of put on a sadness, you know, I used to find my sadness and portray it, you know. I can't do that anymore because I'm not sad anymore. I don't want to live in the past either. I want to try some other people's songs and see how I can get on with them.
I was standing rolling man, I roll on every day. I was standing rolling man.
Peter Cook, SGR FM and 𝓑𝓵𝓵 Radio. I'm here with Peter Green, founder member of Fleetwood Mac. He's performing this evening at the 𝓖𝓻𝓮𝓽𝓮𝓷. Hello, Peter.
Hello.
Most people regard you as a legend. How do you feel about that?
So they should do my bad foot, a leg end. I think it's a leg end of his leg. I don't want to be a legend. It's too. Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix got to go first. What do they call them? I'm behind them. Those two. They make it. I might be the third thief, but I don't think so. No.
Peter seems in a relatively good mood today. His moods vary. Some days he's really into it and he plays a really good show. Other days you'd think he was bored stiff.
How's that, lads?
This is part of the magic of Peter Green. He doesn't do things logically. So we'll see. I'm not a clue how it will turn out. Hopefully it'll be a good show.
Good evening, boys. 2 sugars.
Yeah, you've got 15 minutes, Peter.
The most beautiful plectrums in the world are found on this island, you know.
15 minutes fight. All right.
So I hope it won't be too much of a Fred Carlo circus thing, you know, a cynical thing, or I hope I won't take him for a ride. That's just one thing that's on my mind.
Good evening, Ipswich. Will you please give a warm welcome to the Splinter Group with Peter Green.
My love so bad. I'm sneaking around trying to drive me mad. Busting on my dreams, making me see things I don't want to see. with a two-tone crown. All my tries are all they're bringing us down. Taking my love and slipping away. You know you're just trying to keep from falling.
I have to watch out for people who give paying you false compliments, don't you? You know, trying to see if they can make you go up on a cloud. You know, that's what happened to me. I think that's what happened to me. I went up on a cloud and I thought I was better than I was. I kind of, you know, went up on success. And I accepted their compliments and see where I ended up.
They were down and close their bones. They were down and close their bones. I'm going back to Chattanooga to see my sister Alma.
Only music is important.
It's not a comeback. It's starting again in a different sort of way. You know, we're older people, and that matters a lot. You know, everyone's a bit more sensible, not so reckless.
Maybe. I say that a lot when people say, "How did you go to?" I say, "Well, had its high points, had its high moments, high points, high spots, spots."
What's the future for Peter Green?
You tell me. You're the observer. What do you think? How do you see it?
Onwards and upwards, mate.
What?
Onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards. Yeah, I suppose. I suppose onwards and upwards.